fresher than those rocks you call gold.
For sunrise this morning, making my presentations from the flying clouds. My friends are fresher than these lovely blossoms in your life. Good morning, ladies. How may I help you? Sweet, sweet, my pretty, and what? Here's some confections I'll give you some today. I think it's sweet, some of your sweet stuff. Bye, sir. You want to see the simple lady? No, Can it be sweeter than you, my dear? You best start yourself and drink out and come back to the house to get right. I know, sir. Our prince can't marry a school girl again. Our princess married a beautiful princess. I don't think I do. Why, Mistress Dakota? It's been a long time since I've seen you out at your shoe shop. How's business? Busy, busy, busy. Those who my sisters are all ready. Why, I think we're in pretty time to sleep. All the great ladies in the kingdom on here. Not a out of this family. They have the itches out of their teeth and feathers. Glass slippers. Oh my goodness, do tell. I must snatch myself up here before you sell out again. Oh yes, those are glass slippers that can be worn on themselves. Well, of course I'll be interested. I will. Catch Prince out in time with a beautiful new hair ribbon. The lovely cozy in here didn't make him nervous with lovely burden. But mother, why do you have to wear these silly hats? Pandora, how many times have I told you? Ain't bragging with your sister Pandora about the powers of the sun and the damages its rays can do to your skin. You want to look as beautiful as I. But mother, look around. The only people wearing hats like these are women of your age. And you're pointing to Pandora. But mother, silence. Not another word. Where's that different stepsister of yours? Yeah, here she, Cinderella. What about mine, Cinderella? Am I just chalk liver to you? She had a word. Girls, you have to be nice with your stepsister in public. How should you always be embarrassing Cinderella?
Stepmother, I promise to do better.
Well, just make sure that you do. Come, girls, go errands and finish before we head for home.
Cinderella, do this. Cinderella, do that. Can you manage that hat box, Cinderella? Have you been to the butcher? Oh no, I forgot the butcher! Thanks, but I can manage.
I see you can manage very well, but you still could use a little help.
I guess you're right. Have we met before?
I don't think so. How would I remember you?
You look so familiar.
I guess I just have one of those faces.
Maybe that's it.
Why are you carrying all these packages by yourself? Do you like to shop?
Oh, they're not for me. They're for my stepmother and Endora and Pandora.
Who is Endora and...
Pandora, they're my stepsisters. They're actually the only pair of identical twins in the whole kingdom.
Where are they now?
They went on to the next door.
Without you?
It's okay. Sometimes I just like to walk by myself. I mean, I just need to get away so I can hear myself think.
I know exactly how you feel. Sometimes I just need to be alone so I can hear myself think.
I did.
Gotta get away when I'm feeling lonely. Gotta get away and find some space. Gotta be alone so my thoughts can take me to a better place. Then I find my heart will tell me just what to do. I gotta get away, gotta get away, gotta get away. Don't you?
Gotta get away when I'm feeling pissed off. Gotta get away when I want to scream. Gotta find a place where I have a moment just to sit
be alone so my thoughts can take me to a better place. And then I find my heart will tell me just what to do. I gotta get away, gotta get away, gotta get away. Don't you?
Really could use some help. What is your name?
My name?
You have a name, don't you?
Yes, I do. It's Cinderella.
That's a strange name. There must be some great story behind it.
Well, my daddy always said that when I was very young, I was always playing in the fireplace.
The fireplace? Why the fireplace?
Well, he actually told me that if I was very good, my own fairy godmother would come down the chimney bringing me presents.
Just like Santa. Did your fairy godmother ever show up?
No, not yet. But one day. Are you laughing at me?
Oh, no, not at all, Cinderella. I've just never met anybody with such sincerity in her face when she speaks.
Is that a compliment?
It's a very nice compliment. My my friend always tells me that it's not what a person says, but how they say it.
Well, in that case, thank you, kind sir.
You're welcome, my princess.
Now that you know my name, what's yours?
My name? My name is Al. Yes, call me Al.
Hi, Al. Nice to meet you.
Hearing, my proclamation of the king and queen. Santa's going to be a ball tonight celebrating Prince Albert's 19th birthday.
That is the last straw!
What? What's the matter?
Sorry, Cinderella, but I have to go. I hope I get to see you again sometime, but I really gotta go. Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye. Al.
Cinderella!
I'm coming.
I believe that should be everything, Sir Edward.
Have you seen my invitation?
Yes, Your Highness, and here's a list of invitations that have been invited.
You've invited Angela and Angela Murchison.
Yes, Your Highness.
But they are...
Really, my dear, this is her son's 19th birthday. It's about time for him to be picking a wife. What other way will he be able to choose if we don't have a ball and invite all the eligible girls?
But Endor and Endor, and you invited their mother, Murgatroyd.
Well, she is a single mother.
She's older than I am. I don't want Albert to marry someone older than I.
Speaking of Albert, Sir Edward, has he awakened yet?
I had not seen him this morning, sire.
Well, go now and awaken him and bring him here. I have things to discuss with him.
Yes, sire. I will go and tell him you wish to speak to him later today.
Not later, now!
Yes, sire. What am I to do? The prince isn't even in the palace. What would his parents think if they knew he was out gallivanting around the kingdom? King and queen should never find out. Just can't even think about it. Where is that boy? Finally, you're back just in time.
What's your problem, Sir Edward?
Your mother and father wish to see you in their chamber.
Why would you see them now?
Forgive me, Your Highness, but you cannot go dressed like that.
What's wrong with the way I'm dressed?
You're dressed as a street rat and you have dirt all over your face.
So, it's about time they figure out the real me.
You just can't.
Why not?
Because that's just the way it is. Now go and change out those rags immediately. Where's that boy? Hey, Mom. What time is it? Fine. Now go. Your mother and father wish to see you in their chamber now. Man, I'm getting too old for this stuff.
I've been living every day, not in the world who would help me find my way. Oh, how I need someone to guide me and tell my troubles to. Oh, how I need someone to count on, someone to see me through. Where is she? Who will be here beside me till the end? Someone wise, someone kind, will always be my friend. Oh, how I need someone to guide me and tell my troubles. Oh, how I need someone to count on, someone to see me through. Oh, how I need some.
almost every beautiful girl. Albert, you seem to be having a great time.
I am, Dad.
Your Highness, you remember Madame Murgatroyd Murchison and her charming daughter?
Certainly. Rise, Miss Murchison, ladies.
I don't believe that I've met the prince yet.
Okay. Well, where is she?
So, let me present the only twins in the kingdom, Endor and Pandora.
How will we see
This last story.
Where did you find it?
You know the steps that get to the castle? Yep, that's where we found it.
This is the one she was wearing. I'm sure of it. I know that there is only one princess for me, and this is hers. So Edward, go now and announce to all the kingdom that whoever can wear this shoe will be my bride.
It might take a little while.
Quit talking and get going. Time's of the essence. Go.
Yes, Your Highness.
Maybe
We were primarily a middle school team this year, but we did play some JV games, and the average player on the team, I think, was in 8th grade this year. This was a building year. We need to work a lot on basic skills, and we couldn't get a lot of stuff done with the technical end of the game just because we were starting out and had a lot of kids that never played soccer before, played very little soccer before. But I was very proud of them. They did a good job. They worked hard, and that's what all I ask is that they work hard and give 100%. I want to thank a couple of people also, and that is Julie Cook and Susan Steep, because they were the team moms and they really helped me out a lot. And I think that Mr. Buster Cook appreciates now being a single lone coach for any sport. But I appreciate their help, and I want to thank my wife also, because it does take time and it takes me away from home. And without her help and support, I couldn't do this and I couldn't participate. But with that said, also I want to tell you who the most valuable player for this year is. Make sure I give him the right one. That is Chase Cook. I picked a most improved player for the year, and that is going to be Tad Durant. With that, I guess they're going to go down and get their certificates, and like I said, thank you. And if you will allow them to work over the summer on soccer, because it is the first sport of the year, that is the only thing we have a problem with, is getting them in shape and fit prior to the beginning of school, and that's a hard thing for me to do. Once school starts, I'd like them to be kind of fit and in shape already. So as parents, maybe you can help out if your children are going to play soccer. Get them out there running and in the heat and doing stuff active.
He's a little hard-headed. I don't know. But as a young lady that I've had the pleasure of coaching since the 8th grade, and she can pick things up in a matter of seconds, and we'll know it. We could do something this year, and we could go a whole year without doing anything. And next year, I'll just say, call out the play, or tell her what we need to do, and she'll be telling the other players, all right, you stand here and you go here. This year, she had to really step up, handle the ball, be our quote-unquote point guard. Didn't like that, but I told her she had to do it anyway. And really stepped up and improved in a lot of categories. Against that team, Ballard Christian hit the game-winning shot. Our coach's award goes to Christina Harmon. All right, our most valuable with 100 and, let me make it quick, 180. This young lady, again, just true leadership, ready to step in there and lead, not only on the court but off the court. Just a pleasure to coach. Our most valuable player, Rachel Stewart. A round of applause for this girl.
If I could ask Coach Buster Cook to join me up here before we call the boys up. Being part of something new has a certain amount of excitement and anticipation with it. There's also a lot of hard work in starting new ventures. If in driving past and around back of the building, you saw the transformation that happened on the baseball practice field. It went from a grassy field to what looks like it is a regulation baseball practice field. Our other two coaches, one of whom is not here tonight, Coach Burt, Tony, and Coach Cook, did the brunt of the work on that field, and I think we need to give them a hand. Some of the players also helped out. Burt and Buster actually came out one day and actually undercut the grass so that we could lay out the infield. Then we had to come back with a couple of tractors and get the grass up. Jonathan Winkles, Brett King, Chase Cook, Nathan Knight, Cole Bowerman, Harrison Barninger, Todd Hare, Jamie Chestnut, and Jordan Davison. Say, oh no, he's pulled his notes out. In addition to the hard work that the coaches, Coaches Cook and Tony put forth, I want to say on their behalf that we do appreciate the school, Coach Gomez, Mr. Sapola allowing us to work with these boys this year. We had some sponsors also that helped us out. I won't start to name those because I may miss someone, but we had people who donated money for us to pay for certain things. Our Booster Club actually, through one of their fundraisers, provided the money for our uniforms this year. We appreciate that. We had a donation of equipment, things of that nature. And also, I want to talk about what happened also, in addition to what they did on the field. Coach Cook also was responsible for the batting cage that you see out beside the baseball field. So actually, for our first year program, we've got a lot of things going for us in area of baseball. We, like a lot of the other coaches that you've heard tonight, started out the year with a situation where we had a 15-player roster. We had about 4 players that had ever played baseball before. None of even those players had ever played baseball on the scholastic level. And we evolved from a team that was virtually inexperienced to a team that was capable of playing some pretty good baseball. We set our mind to it. Except for maybe against 3 teams that we played, we had the opportunity to win every ball game, and we did win several ball games. The guys did a great job, worked hard, and this year we chose not to recognize some of the individual awards that you've seen tonight, but we've got a lot of guys on this team that made accomplishments in their own right. And what I'd like to do right now is just take a couple of minutes and tell you a little bit about some of these guys, what they did, and which will give you some of the highlights of our season. Brett King. Brett started center field for us and really anchored our outfield on the defensive side of the ball. There were very few, if any, balls hitting the gaps between center and the other outfields that he couldn't catch up to. There were a couple of times that we'd see a long, high fly ball hit and think, well, can anybody get to it? And you're watching the ball, and all of a sudden, it was like Brett come out of nowhere and had the ball. So he saved several extra base hits and also kept the opponents from getting several runs that they would have gotten. On our infield, we had Chase Cook at first base, Jordan Davison at second base, which provided solid defense on the right side of our infield. Actually, on the last game that we played against Community Christian, I think Jordan made a dive that probably would have made the ESPN highlight show. His dad had been taking some photos, and of course we were wondering if he got a photo of that, but I think he may have missed that one. But they did a good job for us. Jamie Chestnut, who will be enrolling in our school next year, came to us as a homeschooler and did a good job for us. And he spent most of the year at shortstop and did pitch some for us. as we'll talk about in a minute. Third base, we had 3 guys this year actually that we went to different times or another. Third base, Trevor Highland, Harrison Warrington, and Sean Nivens, and they all made good plays for us here at their times that they were at third for us. Actually, I don't think we really had any bloodshed, but I thought we might would have gotten a Purple Heart for Harrison in one game. What was it he told you about? Didn't think he was bleeding when he came in? But it did hurt or something like that. He was playing third, and one of the opposing runners was attempting a steal. When threw the guy out, Harrison tagged the guy, and of course he had to get down in the dirt and block the bag. Here comes a guy sliding in with steel cleats on, but he stood his ground, made the out, and so we got through it. It was sort of relevant of the game that we had at North Cobb when Dustin Spajari was coming into third, and I don't know how that third baseman got out of his way, but he came into third base like a freight train. And the guy tagged him and getting out of the way somehow or another. But these guys did play hard. As far as our pitching, our pitchers did a good job for us this year. We had 4 guys that we used on the mound. Nathan Knight led us with 50 strikeouts, which was a season total high for the team. Colt Bowerman had the game high strikeouts, 15 against Oak Mountain. And so they did a good job. Also, we used Jamie Chestnut and Chase Cook came in relief situations for us. We put those guys in some tough spots because sometimes you bring those relievers in when the other team has got a lot of momentum going. Maybe they've scored some runs. Maybe things, the bases are loaded. Situation not looking real good, but they came in and stood up to the task and did a great job for us. So we're looking at big things for those 4 guys for us as far as our pitching staff for the future. On the offensive side, of course, you have to score runs to win, and we love to score runs. That's what gets everybody excited, is running the bases and across the home plate. Most all of our guys showed at some point or another they were capable of hitting the ball and hitting it well. The trick is getting everybody to do it at one time, or at least stringing some hits together so we can score some runs. But they came along, and toward the end of the year, we really started hitting the ball. Got some excitement going on the team, and I think really got us a good ending to get ready for next year. I do have to say this though, as far as the hitting side of our game. Colt Bowerman actually set 2 records in that category this year, as he got the very first base hit for Project Region 2, and also our first home run, our over the fence home run. So he did a great job for us at the plate, and Colt pretty much hammered the ball most of the time. We had him hitting third in the order, and did that for a reason, because we wanted to get our first 2 guys on, and number 3 guy to come up and then put the bat on the ball, and they usually came through for us on that. A couple of guys that I'd like to talk a little bit about too are our youngest players. That is Zach Cottney and Brian Anderson. I see Brian, I don't see Zach. I'm good to see him. Zach and Brian are both 7th graders. They came onto a team and played against teams of guys that are mostly 2 and 3, sometimes 4 years older than them, and really stood up to it. Brian, let me talk about him since he's here tonight. Brian showed a lot of versatility for us this year. He played most of his time in the outfield, but he did come in and play second base some for us, and also caught part of one game. Several of our games, Brian hit the ball well for us, and so we're looking for great things from him. And I say looking for great things, talk about a couple of these guys. Actually, this entire team is capable of great things. We told them early in the year that as long as we were yelling, everything was good. We said as long as we yell, then we see that there is a potential that we need to push you to. So when we stop yelling, that's when you need to start worrying. Well, we yelled all year long. I know it's hard for y'all to believe, but those guys have a lot of potential. I wish, and I was thinking about this today, I wish that we could take what we see and instill it into them so that they can see what we know is there. Because we've told them a lot of times in practices and in after games that if we didn't think they had that potential, we wouldn't be out there working with them. We would have stopped a long time ago. But these guys, hopefully we're looking at the possibility of whether or not we're going to move up to a varsity schedule next year. That is an adjustment in itself, other than just having a first-year program. But I think it'll help us to improve, get better. We'll have some off-season workouts for these guys. We don't know the exact schedule of that yet, and we know we're working around other sports. I know that they're going to be training for cross country. They want to train for soccer in the fall, and of course, they're getting ready for basketball in the late fall. But the only way that we can make the program better is to work, and to work hard. And hopefully, if there's one thing that we have been able to teach these guys this year or instill in them, is commitment, accountability, and not setting up high goals for yourself. I probably more than the other two coaches would lose sight sometimes of where we started and where we had come to once we get in the heat of battle. And I tend to start looking ahead at where we wanted our team to be. Of course, it takes time to get there. May not get there today, but you got to keep trying to get there. And I hope that that's one thing that the guys got out of the season by the way that we pushed. Hopefully to get them to see their potential and whatever they do. Not to set low goals, not to be satisfied with anything but the big prize. Always go to the top. That's the thing. Never give up. Work hard. The thing that we've always told our teams over the years is to work hard and good things happen. And I believe that, and I guarantee you, if they continue to work hard, they're going to see more and more fruits of their efforts. And again, I just want to thank Coaches Cook and Tony. I'm sorry that Coach Tony couldn't be here tonight. We wouldn't have had what we have without those guys. They just really did a lot of hard work. And we have coached together for probably close to 10 years, starting right after T-ball. And so we've been together a long time, hopefully be together a while longer. And one thing I do want to say to these guys, before we get to our certificates, the guy who should pity in all this and feel sorry for it, Nathan. Because at the end of the game, you guys can wave by and go your separate ways, and he has to go home with you. You can usually tell what kind of a game we had, because if my wife and I are in separate vehicles, look and see which one of us he rides with. You can tell by that what kind of a game we had. Let's give these guys a big hand.
Definitely want to thank not great spirit, great character, which is one of the things that really stuck.
Hello, Trina. I'm getting a close-up. That's right. What do you say about this marriage? They're speechless.
In 8th grade, Outstanding Achievement, Music Award, and Christian Character to Susanna Cipolla. if I can say this next word, or Chelsea.
It'll still get tight in there. But has anybody ever prayed for you?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, you have to put the one blank before.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Oh,
Use water.
Don't use nothing. Need to cut it all off.
No.
Look like that guy. We seen him.
I think we should do all the doubles in
TV.
the room.
Ball headed. Kojak.
But everybody say hi to Erin. I'm gonna send this to her in Mexico.
Aaron. Aaron, look at your mother.
Hi, Aaron. Pongo, this is Jim.
Being starved to death.
He's getting better though, isn't he?
What's the matter, Molly? How come she's not jumping over here? Huh? They've actually been playing this week. Have you noticed them out in the morning?
Yeah, they get to where they start to play.
Yeah. Becoming buddies.
Yeah, he goes with her.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Oh, man.
Go, Brian. Good job.
Go, Brian. Hey, top of the order now. Let's go, AJ.
Not bad.
Come on, Ben. Bravo. Let's go. Hey, what did I just say, guys? Everybody up. Let's go. Everybody up. Stay right there.
Go. Fire it in there.
Let's go, one. Let's go, AJ.
He would wait till we get home and say, guess what we did today? Instead of come out there.
Let me just meet with you. All right, why don't you hunt me down after church, and I'll show you exactly what we need.
All the what?
Brian first.
Think about Brian. He's not nervous to bat at all.
He welcomes the opportunity.
Yeah, he'll go up there. He's talking to Jared. Say Jared. His buddy. Can you move? Thank you. See you guys. See you now. Brian will rarely swing on the first pitch.
Come on, Brian.
All right.
I guess he didn't call it.
Come on, Brian.
Come on, Brian!
Brian, swing the bat. He's not gonna swing. I'm glad he did. But I could tell. He's just. I thought he was going to get it.
Come on, Brian, swing. No.
Never swing. Can't hit a ball that way. Come on, what's he doing?
ethnic minorities. It's easier with umbilical cord blood, and because the stem cells come from the placenta, the immune system is less likely to reject them. Getty says a national bank will increase the number and quality of cord blood units available for transplant, and that could help 90% of all patients who need a stem cell transplant. Patricia Naaman, NPR News. You're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
Time is 5:19. Thanks for tuning in to All Things Considered on GPB, your source for great music and NPR News. All Things Considered also is made possible in part by Fort Valley State University. Department of Veterinary Science, offering the only accredited 4-year degree in veterinary technology in Georgia, and a pre-veterinary curriculum for entrance into veterinary or graduate school. All Things Considered also made possible in part by Metro Spirit, a weekly newspaper committed to giving Augusta area readers up-to-date news about current issues and events, politics, arts, and entertainment. Metro Spirit, an independent voice in Augusta.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Melissa Blanc.
And I'm Michelle Norris. We're taking a look at the fortunes of the U.S. dollar this week. It's lost quite a bit of its value over the last few years. Yesterday, we heard about the politics of the matter. Today, a look at the possibility of a financial crisis. NPR's Mike Schuster has our report.
The dollar has lost about 20% of its value against the euro in the past 2 years. The U.S. trade deficit is at record levels, more than $600 billion this year, about 6% of gross domestic product, which is a historical high. The single largest component of that is an enormous trade deficit with China. Investors in the U.S. economy, particularly those in Asia who buy treasury bonds and thereby help the U.S. cover its enormous budget deficit, lose money as the dollar falls. China and Japan are most affected by these imbalances. Eventually, they might run from the dollar, and that could provoke a financial crisis, says Robert Reich, former Secretary of Labor in the Clinton administration.
I would say there's about a 30% probability that there will be, within the next 3 to 5 years, a run on the dollar that will destabilize the global economy.
Even economists who are less critical of the Bush administration can see trouble ahead in the international currency market.
The room for maneuver with the dollar and with trade policy of the Bush administration right now is very skinny.
Roger Kubarich is an economist with the Hypo Vereinsbank in New York. He argues, though, that there is no immediate crisis looming on the horizon.
There's no evidence yet that this is unsustainable. Now, it may not be sustainable for 20 years, but it's certainly sustainable for 1 year. It may be sustainable for 5 years. People who think that there's a sense of urgency to fix this right away, and if we don't fix it right away, we're taking a grave risk, they're exaggerating their case.
But even some who defend the Bush administration's economic policies express some worries. Philip Swagel was chief of staff for the Council of Economic Advisors in the first Bush administration.
A disorderly adjustment is a risk. I'm not saying it's not a risk. It certainly is a risk. I just don't think it's the main risk facing the U.S. economy.
The fears of critics center mostly on the role of China and, to a lesser extent, Japan. China has accumulated an enormous reserve of U.S. dollars, all those dollars that Americans spend in Walmart and other huge retailers on cheaply produced Chinese shoes, clothes, toys, electronic equipment, and a host of other products. China and Japan need this trade surplus with the U.S. to keep their economies growing, and in China's case, especially to keep unemployment down. At the same time, China and Japan are investing their dollars in the U.S. in Treasury securities, which is helping the U.S. cover its own enormous budget deficit. For the first time ever, the economies of the U.S. and China are closely linked, says Gail Foster, chief economist of the Conference Board in New York.
It's almost as if we are one economy separated by an ocean.
There have been signs that some nations are not comfortable with a weakening dollar. Oil-producing nations have hinted they might...
Here we go, AJ.
Yes.
They wouldn't make this one.
No, she likes
He always did that, remember Brian?
What, Jason?
Like we would go after Princess Township, like, stop it.
Eric. Hey, Eric. Hey, Eric, show me your forms. Yeah, show me your forms. Your yellow belt. Show me your white belt forms. You did too. I saw you a while ago. Look at Eric. Okay. Oh, that's good. So, Aaron, how's the flight? Any terrorists or anything?
I look nice and happy.
Oh no, there goes my tax deduction.
Did you fly in that year?
I guess. Are you videotaping?
There goes the spontaneity. It's all over now. I'll never get any more. Yes, it's our new camera. We got to get some news. You want to record some?
No, I just want to look at it.
Oh, Brian. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, let's go.
Come on, Wes.
Can I get a shower?
No.
Okay, Brian, come on.
Yes. Want to be alone.
Yeah, likewise. It was all about Thanksgiving. I love you all. Joe and Troy, we love you. Happy Thanksgiving, fellas.
Wait, we're having Thanksgiving lunch?
Happy Thanksgiving yet again to everybody back in the studio.
Having Thanksgiving dinner.
We always have Thanksgiving lunch.
Look, Aaron.
Yay!
What is it?
Henderson!
What?
Anderson.
Mr. Trailer.
Oh, yeah, you found him.
Oh.
I'm gonna give that to Libby.
Yes,
Aaron, we
please.
What have you been looking for?
Make a copy of that and take it to Libby tomorrow.
You've been looking for that?
Yeah. That's such a good idea, Mom. I'm so glad you found that
Can I go
idea.
get a shower real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. But you gotta hurry.
What?
Let us pray first.
Wouldn't you want this?
Oh,
What is
yes.
this?
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so glad you came with that idea. I'm so glad you're good for these. It's very smart of you.
Gosh, it's for Thanksgiving. God is with us today.
Okay, let's eat.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We have wine. Oh boy.
Here, let me get a picture of y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish there was a way we could get you in here. Come on.
Right.
Can't you put it on timer and set it up?
Yeah, we'll try it later, but I can figure it
Don't
out.
want to touch me. I'm all sneaky.
I know.
Okay, ready? 1,
He has no shirt on.
3. A good one.
All right.
Everybody sit at the table and get one more.
Well, let's go put a shirt on.
Put
Just
a
don't
shirt
put
on.
any shirt on. Come on.
A white
It's
shirt.
stinky. If I put another
That's
shirt on,
hot.
that shirt gets
That's hot.
stinky.
I don't care. I need to sit here.
Well, I do it. That's my clothes.
We're used to the smell.
So mean, Mom. Should be an order of coolest to not coolest. So, what are you gonna have for supper? Leftovers? Of course. We're gonna go to a movie. Let's go see the same movie again.
Let's watch the Easter parade. We always watch the Easter parade.
Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving.
Okay, everybody smile. 1, 2, 3.
Ever since Dad watched those old family videos, he's making new ones now.
I'm so glad
good.
you found
He's very influential.
trailer.
I know.
Wow, that's incredible.
Well, do it. Bring it to her today.
If we can make a copy of it or something.
Can we make a copy of it? I would love to.
Or I don't know what else is on there.
I think I can move it to a
Right.
How wonderful it is to be together.
And to have our health. And to have this food.
To help
Always
each
be
other.
appreciative of this food. Sierra's family right now is not doing anything.
Really?
Whose?
They can't afford it.
Let's pray. Father, thank you for my family. Thank you for us being here today, that you've made us into a family, that you've brought beautiful gifts to Tony and Aaron, and us and Maya. Thank you, God, that you've loved us and you've blessed us so much for these many years. We thank you for the years ahead. I thank you for my children. I pray for your blessings on them, that you'll lead and guide and direct their lives. That you fulfill your purpose for them, Lord. That they'll make some sort of difference in the world in which we live. We pray for all of our family. We pray for our next year ahead. That you just be with us and join us. We pray for CP and we ask that you be with his family. We pray for all those, Lord, Tara and her family. They can have a good Thanksgiving. We pray God in some way that you will just touch and be with them, love and lead them, that your goodness to them too. For all these things we give you thanks. We thank you for this food and bless it, and thank you for the time. We spend all the time preparing it.
You're in the game now. Fox 5.
Thank you for water.
All right, let's turn the TV on.
Running water.
What, you're not gonna eat?
I'm gonna take a shower first.
No!
Yeah.
I'm stinky.
Not a long one, 5-minute shower.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
rinse off and come on. Okay? Brian, why don't you grab me some turkey lots here?
Oh, thanks.
No turkey? Turkey's good for you. Good, high protein.
Okay, you're gonna have to kind of pass things, Aaron.
Okay, sorry. Just I like to watch.
Every one of those videos, those Christmas videos, it's always, Aaron, open your presents. Aaron, please
Aaron, what
open
you
your
waiting for,
presents.
Aaron?
Please,
Hurry
please
up.
open your present. Come on.
Go, Brian. Come on. If I can handle it, you can too.
Do you have any gravy?
This is the most,
Yes.
this is the most difficult one. You have to ask for this one.
It's hard to pass. Brian, listen.
I feel uncomfortable with this video. I feel
Is
like
it taping us right now?
Yes.
Could we maybe,
It's okay.
who wants sweet potatoes?
Oh, I do.
We're gonna make Wesley walk around.
Yeah, he's just going to have to come over here.
Brian.
I think my dressing is too dry. Put a lot of gravy. Or can you put that away somewhere?
Yes. Brian. You want a hello?
We need salad plates, don't we?
Yeah, I think we do.
Okay, let me go get salad plates. It's just they won't match. Oh dear, and it's on video. No!
Here, get the gravy going.
Oh.
Slacking.
Ooh. Here, plate for your salad.
You say I'm slacking?
Yep.
Well, you wanna get this too?
Nope.
Mr. Ed, wanna pass anything?
He just lets the greens one. You wanna dump your salad onto your salad? You don't have more room for the others. You're stuck with it.
Yeah, it's staying.
Okay. All right, let's see. Cranberry sauce, sweet potatoes. You want sweet potatoes?
Yeah.
Want them on this?
Those are great.
This is beautiful.
What is that, Mom?
Sweet potatoes, you need to try it.
Okay.
Hand me your plate though.
You will like it.
And pass the corn.
For one day, we don't think about
You
diet.
know what I wanna do with the boys? I think, we should, have you ever heard of Outward Bound?
I have. What is it?
That you go to like
You pass that. You want
this
some of
school for like 2 weeks and they teach you how to survive out in the
Oh,
wilderness, like in
yes.
California,
Yes,
the
uh-huh.
Yosemite National
that?
Park.
Use the rope system and stuff?
Yeah, Brian and Wesley, I think that'd be something like a good bonding experience for us three.
We ought to go outward bounding. I'm gonna put that over there for Wes and pass the rolls.
This one fell,
And
so
I'll keep this somewhere over there too.
Where's the flies coming in at?
Is there another one? Here, did you want any of this?
Is there a door open maybe? Window open?
This is a lot of food.
It is a lot of food.
And the corn didn't even make it. You want to pass the corn?
Got butter?
Yes. And you want to pass the butter? Everybody wants to eat, but you have to keep passing.
No.
Corn. Did you ever get potatoes?
I don't have any room. Can I wait?
That's what I'm doing.
Brian, do you want any of this kind of stuff?
Nope.
Okay, that would be too. Who likes this?
Cranberry? No, I mean,
You don't like it?
not really.
I do.
I know you do, that's why I always have it.
I always eat it.
Do you, Mom?
I used to not when I was your age. Now I do. Must have given her just in time to go, pasta. All right, your manners are being recorded.
I'm gonna turn it off.
Everybody say goodbye. Turn it off.
Philadelphia, do you get encore?
I don't like that movie.
I'm just wondering what color you get.
I think we get it every year.
Goodwill Hunting?
No. Hey, turn that back on so we can see how long Henderson Trailer goes.
Anna and the King?
Yes, I love that movie.
Jodie Foster?
I think they did a good job.
The Legend of Bagger Vance, have you ever seen that?
Can't remember.
Poor Anna and the King only got 1 star.
Which one?
Anna and the King.
No, I like that movie. This goes to show you can't trust somebody else's stars.
I'd rather go rent movies.
Can you? Or are they open today?
Yeah.
Everybody else has the same idea in mind. In fact, this is one of the busiest days for movie theaters. Remember how we used to have to fight to get off on holidays? And I worked at movie theaters because so many people. Christmas Day?
Is the table all clean?
Yes.
Does the thing need to be shaken or anything?
Oh yeah. There we go. You wanna go on a walk?
I do.
And then we'll go on a nap?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
We put those rolls either in foil, probably.
Yeah.
A piece of foil
for art style foil.
in the pantry.
Can we put them in a baggie?
Hey Tony, what is this concert here with all these drummers?
That's when I had all of the at Callaway Auditorium.
What are they called?
Soweta.
How do you spell it?
Soweta.
Where shall I put the butter in?
Just put the fridge.
Just like that?
Was that all we had at Henderson Trailer?
It looks to me like this is your tape. I'm not sure it's any Anderson stuff on here at all.
So that's not the same tape as Henderson?
Yes, same one.
Ah. Because if that's all that's on it is Henderson Trailer and then Soletta, if you can just erase Soletta, we'll just give them that tape.
No, I'd really copy it myself.
Don't stop.
Where's the gun's not oil? Let me see. Let me see. Does it feel oil? I can't suck that much.
Too much food. I'll give an old keyboard here. Just want to use.
You want one?
Mm-hmm.
Did you practice?
Yeah.
You really would?
I'll do the matching tissue.
Look how pretty Annie looked at her graduation.
Haley
You still
did my
have that
hair.
dress? Do you still have that dress?
What dress is it?
That black dress?
Possibly.
I think that's when Grandma made you, didn't she? Or did I buy that for you?
Who made me a dress? I keep remembering things.
I don't know.
That's
Didn't she make you? Well, maybe I bought
how
you that
skinny
black
I
dress.
was.
Was? You still are.
I'm not father. I had put on about 15 pounds.
Aaron, don't become. Are you bulimic or anything like that?
No.
Anything we need to know?
Binge and purge. Binge and purge.
Bulimic people do not weigh 135 pounds.
People who think about it are.
Can I weigh myself again? I'm becoming obsessive. But I'm never obsessive.
But you'd have to use the same scale every time, or it doesn't mean anything.
I know.
Okay.
You remember what you weighed last time you were here?
Stuff my
134.
stomach down.
You do? You remember?
Yeah. Wesley weighs 138.
Oh gosh.
I know. Wesley was like, Aaron, you have the Anderson
It
genes
is.
in you.
This whole thing must be you, Aaron.
Your hair looks good that length.
It does until it gets too fried. You know, it got to that point, I think, in the last pictures a little bit too fried.
Because you kept you kept highlighting it too much.
I kept doing it myself.
Or your mother did it. A couple times.
Wesley went to sleep, didn't he?
I think I should grow it out that long again.
I think you could if you wanted to. It's pretty.
I think it looks better like that.
Like this. That's why that
Successful
professor.
and yet they're also limiting at the same time. How
Right.
do you feel about that?
It's a different system. In some ways, we do the same thing in a different way. I mean, obvious, Brenda's experience with Jordan is obvious that color still tracks you.
Really?
Uh-huh.
And yet she doesn't like affirmative action?
Huh?
She's very much against affirmative action.
Brenda?